Hey there. Are you an artist or craftsperson struggling to sell your work these days? I know how tough sales have been lately. Even through this tough time as a working glass artist, over the last year, I've managed to increase my sales, and I'd love to help others do the same. I've got a few tips and pointers that I'm going to give. I'm going to look at this table full of my glass, and at the end of the video, I've got another kind of trick that I use personally that I've had wild success with that not everybody will be comfortable doing, but I encourage you to try. So let's get going. Okay, so to get started, I just wanted to give you a nice shot of my table display. We've got a few trays. I've actually put audio foam into these. They're little pyramid shapes. And they prop everything up kind of facing people who are looking at the table quite nicely. Then I have a few pegboards in the background that hold carded necklaces and pendants, as well as a few little pedestals to put some of my cups and other functional glassware like this a little higher so you can see the patterns and colors a little better off the table. And I even throw all my marbles inside this glass case just to stop people from picking them up and having them roll off the table, because I do often set this up at like a farmer's market or a craft fair, and there's a lot of kids with hands that are reaching for absolutely everything. And that's, other than having a nice tidy display, as you can see, I put up a couple lights. I have one at each end of the table here. And if you have the option to bring some lights and put some spots on your work, it's really nice to give people that, that presentation. It's easier to see things when they're lit up well. And I find that really translates to glass, so I've always tried to bring those with me when I can. If you don't have power hookups, there are some battery-powered options. Like I do have this light clamped to my tripod at the moment, and that sort of thing is something you could definitely use as well if you need it. But otherwise, I bring this table, this kind of setup, to all kinds of different places. Okay, so now that we've kind of had a look at the table, I'm sure you might have ideas about things you've got kicking around that you could use to kind of solve problems like I have on my table here. Like, it's a constantly evolving process. I'm always changing up my table display a little bit. These trays have been a bit of a thing that I've used for a long time, and I've recently added the pegboard in the background. So as things change, I start to try and improve over time, and I do plan on painting these wooden pieces just to match the rest of the black display. I personally enjoy displaying all my glass on top of a black surface. It does show a lot of colors really well. But as you think about your own product and see this sort of setup, you might have ideas about how you can change your own. And it's a really good option to keep on refreshing your table and adding new displays. People will see the display change and think you have new product. It's pretty nice to have that kind of feedback from people when you really haven't done anything new. But moving on from that, I wanted to talk about sales, actual places to go and sell. I know today a lot of people hype up online sales. It's really nice to not have to leave the house to make a sale. I can agree. I've got an Etsy shop myself. I have a Shopify store, so my website's operational, and I make a few sales through my Instagram and stuff like that. But we all don't have necessarily a big name where we can sell our high-end work all day long, like some of the big artists out there on Instagram and different social platforms like that. So I've actually found huge successes getting to local events, and there's all kinds. So I've spent a huge amount of time at my local farmers market. I head there most Saturdays from May until probably at the end of September, sometimes into October. There's a bunch of Christmas craft fairs and spring craft fairs that happen in the communities that surround the town that I'm in. So I'm always looking for different events to hit up that way. And then one of my favorite things to do is actually make it to music festivals. There's a local music festival that I've actually gotten involved with where I sell my work. And once I did that for the first time, I realized I had a huge positive reception for my work in that kind of environment. So over the years, I'm going to try and increase the number of music festivals that I go to, because it really seems like the type of people who want to buy my work are at those kinds of events. And throughout the year, mostly in the summer, there's a bunch of other events that happen in the communities around me too, including one of the communities has a cruise ship dock, and throughout the summer they offer tables at the dock for the tourists who are coming off the ships for the day. And I haven't had the greatest success there, but I think my product could be a little bit more tailored to the type of person who's coming off the boat. I don't have anything that has the town name or Canada on it, for that matter, as it's the only Canadian stop on a US cruise up to Alaska. And as you go to all these different events, you'll get to know the different people and the different types of things each person buys. I find at different craft fairs versus the farmer's market or at the cruise ship dock, or even a night market in another town that I do on Fridays through most of the summer, there's definitely different product that sells at each place. And it's a good thing to test it out, find the things that you like to make and find the things that people like to buy. Over time, you'll figure out some good production items that you can always keep on stocking, because, as a production maker, having some of those simple production items on the table all the time that you can always repeat and always seem to sell is definitely a big part of the bread and butter of getting your business off the ground in this kind of way. So the takeaway that I hope everybody can get from this part is that doing the legwork of actually getting in front of people and putting your product in front of more eyes is absolutely one of the most important things you can do. In-person sales, as much as the internet has taken over in recent years, in-person sales are still absolutely so valuable. You won't regret doing it if you get out there, because people really will choose to shop with you because they like you. As you get to know people and get your product in front of them, you can really forge a relationship. And I make a lot of business from repeat sales with customers who I've known for years. And now for that last thing that I said that not everybody would be comfortable doing. I do this around the Christmas season to kind of drive a few more sales right before Christmas, and once all the craft fairs are over in my surrounding area. I'll set up my table like this in my house. I like to have a little store and I invite people over. And then I'll even have a house party. I'll bring a bunch of friends over. We'll have some drinks and snacks out, and everybody just hangs out. And eventually someone's going to look at the table and want to grab something for someone they love. And at the end of the day, you're really doing them a favor. All my friends who did this, they thanked me for saving them a trip downtown, saving them some time in those lines with all the crowds while they're trying to get the last few Christmas gifts. And it was hugely successful for me. I had a nice little bump in money coming in at the end of the year, and a bunch of friends were super happy. Even though it kind of felt a little awkward at first, I was worried that somebody might be feeling like I was just trying to, have a money grab with my friends, but at the end of the day, no one felt that way. And right now, today is the 19th of December, and I'm going to film this and edit it right away, because I figured if anybody's going to get any benefit out of this right now, it'll be if you can try and have a house party this weekend. So if you're looking for a place to sell your glass and you got some friends coming over this weekend, I'm encouraging you to try this out. And hope you guys have a good holiday season. If this is another time of the year, I'm sure you can get some benefit out of listening to this anyways, and hope to see you on the next one. Have a good one, guys.